This is a Avant Digger 260 excavator attachment with tilt adapter. In 2016 I got it with the Avant 635 loader. So currently about 9 years old and has been used a bit over 100 hours. No technical issues so far. But one thing that's always bothered me with it is that the quick attachment fitment isn't perfectly gap free, both on the attachment plate side and on the stabilizer lockup pin. For attaching it, you'll just drive up to it while aiming for the attachment point center and then curl the blade to pull it close for the lockout pin and lower the plate locks. And then you'll just insert the lockout pin and you're almost done, right? Wrong. It doesn't fit when pulled all the way against the frame. So you'll have to play with the attachment plate curl angle to have the holes line up by tweaking the joystick in the cab right and left. Usually takes a few tries. Or in this case a bit more than few tries. So back and forth, back and forth. How about now? Oh yeah, finally. And then put safety pin through the lockout pin. Then connect the digger's hydraulic hoses, quick attach coupler, and carefully lower the joystick controls. In this case the controls mounting rod is a bit zoomed out and the joysticks contact the window. The rod length can be adjusted, or you can extend the boom to have the controls fall into the window gap. Looking at the fitment here, you can see that there's a bit of gap between the machine side plate and the digger side mount. Also 3+ millimeters on the underside. All this loose fitment is especially apparent on moving the boom side to side. And all this slop is amplified the further out you've reached with the bucket. The frame lockout pin gap can be fixed with 3mm shim on the digger frame, and the pin can be inserted without fiddling with the hydraulics. Underside the lock gap takes also about 3 to 4mm shim. Previously I've just used a loose washer on top of the lower mount, but aligning that with the lock pins can also be a bit tricky. Those washers tend to get crushed and also may fall out before the locks are engaged. For a permanent fix I'm going to weld the washer in place using the iPod tool MIG inverter with flux core wire. Not great, not terrible. For the frame lock shim I've found a piece from the scrap pile that would fit the gap near perfect. Bosch PVS 300 AE belt grinder to clean up the rusty material. Like a mittens. The frame lock pin has got some wear on it, so I'm adding some metal back. Is it going to fit on the first try? Obviously not. The frame lock shim needs some shaving. Needs some carbide burr action. Followed up by belt grinder. Perfect. I messed up the placement of these washers for the locks to engage, so now they'll need some corrective surgery with carbide. Still needs more fiddling, and also the washer isn't thick enough, so I'll need to add a layer on top. Success. Now there's still a gap between the lock pins and the digger frame rear part. It could potentially cause slop if the curl cylinder is moved, so I'll add some 4mm welding rods as shims. Better or not? Looks tight. What is this crap though? Oh well.